Hello and welcome to Reddit or Not. I am Ron Chabuduo, and today we are looking at some hot and cold malicious compliance. Try not to get brain freeze or burn your tongue. Restaurant employee amuses himself, delights me and my kids. Yesterday, I decided to take my kids to an international chain restaurant. In this restaurant, the kids' meals come with ice cream, but you have to serve yourself. That was a problem because there weren't any bowls beside the ice cream machine. So I thought, I know what to do. I will simply ask an employee for some bowls, and that's just what I did. So he turns to look at the vast array of bowls behind him, some sauce size, some entree salad size, and many in between. And we realize that neither of us knows what size the kids' ice cream is intended to be. So he thought, I know what to do, I'll simply ask a manager. And he says, hey boss, what do we put the kids' ice cream in? Without turning around, the boss says, a fudging bowl. What do you think? Yeah, but what size a bowl? The boss, with his inimitable charm, tact, and grace, says, just fudging give him a bowl. The employee looked back at the bowls, and then I saw him get a big grin over his face. I apologize about that, sir. I think it's probably these ones, he says as he hands me two of the largest bowls they have in the restaurant, practically giggling with glee. My children were similarly delighted. The manager walked by when we were halfway through and made a noise like a startled possum, but said no actual words. Definitely going back there. And I like some of the comments below. Comment number 1, like a startled opossum? I'd like to know how you know what that sounds like. Comment number 2, if you ever leave cat food out on your front porch and walk out in the middle of the night to get something from your car, you'll learn what it sounds like. Also, you learn if you are a fight or flight type person. OP, I would definitely be going back there too. I would like to imagine that manager always makes sure to put the proper bowls out after that. Now I want a big bowl of ice cream. Now that we are cold from that ice cream, let's warm back up with some hot sauce. Sorry ma'am, of course your son can try the 7 million Scoville heat unit hot sauce. I work in a hot sauce store in a busy outlet mall. We're a well-liked, locally owned business and have many loyal return customers. But at this particular location, we also get a lot of tourists who are curious about our challenge items, or Hot Ones products. We have a large variety of samples available every day, literally like 100 hot sauces, 50 plus barbecue wing sauces just out on the table, and we can pull another 50 plus bottles or so from the fridge if one's open. Every so often we get people who come into the store and ask to try the hottest sauce. They love jalapenos in their burritos and have eaten habaneros straight, and they're ready to enter the ring, swallow some sauce, and gain the admiration of a couple friends and bystanders at the cost of a stomach ache. We usually try to guide them to the 10th hottest sauce in the store, burn them with it, and move on to something mild or medium suited to their taste. Today, while I was selling items to people who were actually paying for things, a 10 or so year old boy enters the store. I always get wary when children enter the store alone because it is full of glass bottles. They usually dart straight for the shelves and pick something up. But this child came barreling towards me like a bullet. While I make change for the couple buying some sauce, he calls out to me, "Excuse me," in a horrendous whiny pitch. I ignore the rude interruption and continue my conversation with my customers. He pairs it again 12 times or so, back to back, as I thank these people and get them out of the store. Finally, I turn to him. How can I help you? Where the fudge are this kid's parents? Hi, can I try the hottest sauce in the store? Not this excrement again. I am not dealing with this, not with a 10-year-old kid. I explained to him that the hottest sauce on the shelf is Hellboy, right hand of doom. It's spiked with 6.66 million Scoville extract. And honestly, if you're not experienced with this kind of stuff, more than just a tiny bit can really mess up a good part of your day. Take my word for it. I explained to him he has to be 19 years old to try it and sign a waiver, which is bull excrement, but I'm off in 30 minutes, so fudge this kid. And instead, guide him to a tasty fermented habanero that he coughs his eyes out on before explaining to me that he could handle the right hand of doom because his dad eats spicy peppers with him all the time. Okay, I say. He leaves. Thank God. 15 minutes later, I'm interrupted by another customer, this time a gigantic woman in a blue blouse. She's set next to my sample table like a giant blueberry, blocking up 20% of my floor space. Excuse me, apple doesn't fall far. The customers I'm with are polite and excuse me to speak to her. You didn't let my son try the sauce? I explained to her that it has extract in it several hundreds times hotter than anything he has ever eaten, and that it can cause him severe discomfort, and that I will not let him try it in my store. I explain that she is free to purchase the sauce and have him try it at home if she wishes. She explains to me that she married a Mexican man and that I wouldn't believe the things we ate in New Mexico City, where he grew up. When I asked what they had eaten there, she told me things hotter than anything we have in the store. At this point, her daughter interrupts our conversation. I excrement you not. Excuse me? What? I'm getting annoyed. I was annoyed from the second I saw the kid, and now he's back 20 minutes later with 3 of him. Why do you sell Valentina? It's not even a hot sauce. Jesus Christ, aren't you from Mexico? It says fudging salsa picante on the god dang bottle. It's $5.50. I'm off at 6. I've had enough. How about this? You can try the sauce. If it's as mild as you think, I'll let him try it. She agreed and grabbed her sample stick. I reached for the right hand of doom and unscrewed the cap. Its nuclear aroma sending memories of aches to my stomach. As she goes to dip the stick into the sauce, I warn her to only take a small amount. She grins at me and dips the stick all the way into the sauce. Trap card. Very disagreeable woman. She slaps it into her mouth. Immediately, she looks uneasy before she throws herself into pure agony. She is coughing, swinging her head back and forth, trying desperately to speak, but she cannot muster any words. She dropped her sample stick in all the chaos. After a solid few minutes of coughing and dry heaving, she manages a single word: water. I explained to her that water won't help her now. My relief walks through the door just in time to witness the finish. She tells me that the only reason she is coughing is because it went down the wrong pipe. Then she immediately vomits into our garbage can. She apologizes for spitting up, like she didn't just rocket launch half a liter of chum into my trash can and then leaves without saying anything else. I toss out the trash with a smile on my face and clock out. Some of the comments are hilarious. This comment: I love Reaper sauce on everything, but 6.6 million sounds like something you use to clean fudging engine parts. With this reply: I think you mean melt engine parts. Or this one: I'd almost say you could use it to get rid of evidence. And the reply: apparently, according to OP, you use it to get rid of annoyances. OP, you are hot stuff. That story reminds me of a joke. What is the most fearsome hot sauce for vampires? Buffy-lo sauce. That is some good hot and cold malicious compliance. To my current subscribers, thank you for being a part of this community. Please remember to help me grow by liking and sharing. If this is your first time here, I would love to have you subscribe to Reddit or Not, the channel that will mildly entertain you. Always remember, you are awesome and you matter. Let your voice be heard. You can share your thoughts, stories, and comments below. Until next time, Ron out.